Hi you guys, it's me again and it's a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful week. Hope everyone's well, and today I'm going to teach a very short and sweet rolling class specifically. So I'm going to use a foam roller and a tennis ball. So grab a foam roller, grab a tennis ball, maybe a block. A block would be good too. So have all of these things with you on your mat. And let's begin. So we're going to start with the foam roller. We're going to lie on the foam roller along the spine. It's important that the edge of the foam roller is right at your occiput, so the base of your skull. Don't come too far forward, don't come too far back. Hopefully I can demonstrate this in a way that you're able to understand and do properly. So I'm resting the edge of the roller at the base of the skull. My arms are out to my sides, and I want you to start. Say hello to Lucy. I want you to start by slowly, with your breath, moving the head to the left and to the right. So the edge of the foam roller is providing the gentlest amount of traction. Okay, so just you're resting your butt down on the roller. You're moving your head slowly to the left and to the right. You maintain a steady breath. Just do that about 3 more times to each side, so that in total you're moving your head left and right 5 times to each side. I like to inhale and lift my chin up, and exhale, let my head drop to the left or to the right. And the rest of your body is relaxing down onto that foam roller, so just a couple more times to each side. Slow and steady is crucial. And as we move through the rest of this rolling class, I want you to take note that when we roll, it's important that we not stay in one spot for too long. It's generally recommended 30 to 60 seconds in one spot. It's also important to note that less is more. So that meaning, as we get into the tennis ball part of the myofascial release or rolling exercise, I want you to not press too hard and think that more sensation is better. It's actually not. You can create more tension, and you can damage the tissue if you press too hard for too long. So less is more, okay? Now we're going to begin to take the feet a little wider. Keep that bend in your knees. Your arms out to your sides. And then I just want you to move mindfully across, slowly left and right, so that the foam roller moves across that shoulder blade. Don't lose track of your breath as we continue. I want you to maintain a slow, steady breath. And go as far left and right as you are comfortable. And just do that a couple more times, left and right. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time to each side. And then, just slowly, gently, as best as you can, I want you to roll off of your foam roller. We might come back to that a little later, but for now, I want you to take your tennis ball. And if you have a block or something that resembles a block, that might come in handy, but you might not need it. But just in case you do have one. So now we're going to start and take the ball. Now this is important, pay attention. You never want to touch the spine with the tennis ball, okay? This is just a little more specific to muscle groups, and the first area we're going to use the tennis ball at is known as levator scapula. So I want you to take your left hand
And I want you to creep over that right shoulder until you find the medial border of your scapula. So that's the rounded corner of the wing bone essentially, okay? I want you to just note how ropey that area is. So that muscle is what we're aiming for with the tennis ball. And that muscle connects all the way up into the occiput or the base of the skull, which we just gently released with the foam roller. So the position I want you in is on your back, knees bent, feet about hips distance. And I want you to lean to the left, and as best as you can, get that ball right at that rounded medial border of your right scapula. And then come down onto the ball and center yourself, okay? So if both feet are rooting equally, your arms are out to your sides, comfortably resting. And then I want you to root through your feet a little bit more and begin to lift your hips. So that's going to apply a little more downward pressure onto that specific muscle, that trigger point, okay, of the levator scapula. Now breathe, keep that breath slow and steady, and just micro movements. I'm barely moving, and I'm moving in a circular fashion, in a circular motion, I should say. And maybe you move circular or maybe just slightly up and down. Take another full inhale. Now 30 to 60 seconds is generally 3 to 5 breaths. Take one more inhale and then exhale. Rest your hips back down. Now, pause and breathe in, lifting your hips up. Now with your exhale, I want you to mindfully move that ball down a notch. So now you're moving down, up and down, I should say, the medial border of your scapula. The tennis ball is between that scapula, that wing bone, and your spine. It fits perfectly in this spot, in this space between the medial border of the scapula and the spine, and you're moving mindfully up and down the medial border, dropping slowly down a couple vertebrae at a time. You're now reaching the thoracic area of your spine and the lower border of your scapula. I want you to just continue to mindfully move up and down. 2 more deep breaths, up and down. And then drop your hips back down. Lean to the left and get the ball out from under that right side. And now we're going to switch to the left side. So the same thing. Lean to the right. Place the ball at that upper medial border of your left scapula. And then bring your body back to center. Rest your arms out to the sides. And when you're ready, lift your hips up with an inhale. Pause. And this is where I want you to just do those micro movements, either in a circular motion and or slightly up and down to soften that particular muscle. That's a muscle that's tight on most of us, okay? Those of us who have our shoulders rounding forward, which is a lot of us, that's partially due to this, but also your pecs, your pectoralis, which is actually on the front side. So just take one more deep breath in and out. But most of us have tight neck and shoulders, and this is a great way to release some of that. Now drop your butt and hips down. Pause, and now we begin to move up and down the medial border of the left scapula. So root through your feet a bit more. Keep the ball where it's at. And once again, you're moving between the medial border of the left scapula and your spine. And I can just feel the knots. Oh, I'm tight. Yeah, this is a great way to give yourself a little bit of self-massage since we're not able to make those appointments right now. You're doing your own self-care, your own massage of sorts. Again, maintain a manageable sensation. Not to the point that it takes your breath away or feels uncomfortable or any sharp pain is not what we're after. I want it to be a manageable sensation. Continue moving down. So now you're
Slowly creeping towards the bottom edge of your scapula and the thoracic spine. Take a couple more breaths. I want you to cover the whole medial border of your left scapula, just like you did on the right. Try to keep your rolling symmetrical. So keep it even left and right. Don't just do one side. Take one more deep breath in. And one more exhale. Rest your hips and butt back down. Lean to the right. Take the ball out from under you. And then we're going to slowly begin to move into the low back. Okay, so let's bring it back over to the right side. Stay in the same position with your tennis ball. Lift up. And then we're coming to the lumbar region. So now we're coming to the right side of the lower back, to the right of your spine. Place the ball. Drop your body weight down. And I want you to find your area, an area for you that is tight. You might not feel it just yet. So drop your body weight down onto the tennis ball and then lean towards the ball. Now I'm really tight here. I think a lot of folks are also very tight. This area is the quadratus lumborum area. And as long as you're aiming for tissue and you're avoiding bone and most definitely your spine, you're safe to explore here. So just begin to explore that right lower quadrant of your back in the lumbar region. And I'm just just get to know your body. This is a great way to get to know your body, you guys. So just explore and just do kind of a trigger point style. I'm kind of creeping up and around the iliac crest, which is that rounded pelvic bone, because I have a lot of tension right there. So just get to know your body, explore, and be willing to drop in mindfully by dropping your body weight down onto the ball, taking and being able to take a deep breath. Okay, take one more deep breath in and out there. And then bring your knees back up to face the ceiling, your chin up, your gaze up. Lift your hips then up and switch to the left side. So same area, lower left quadrant of your back, your lumbar region to the left of your spine. Place the ball, drop your body weight down, and then lean towards the ball and breathe. And from there, begin to explore. Exploring tissue, avoiding the spine, avoiding bone, avoiding sharp sensations. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. There's lots of spots that we could work out with our rolling and myofascial release exercises. So just take a couple more breaths, explore a couple more spots. Get to know you and where you store your tension and hold your tension. Something that's not always in our control. Couple more breaths. One more inhale and exhale completely, and then lift up and off of that tennis ball. Now, the next spot is going to be in the glutes. So this is the butt tissue, okay? The meatiest part of your right butt cheek is what you're aiming for now. Once again, lift your hips up, take the ball, drop your body weight down, and on this one, all you need to do is let your right leg open to the right. Maybe if you want a little more pressure, bring your left leg to follow. So leaning in towards the ball. Breathing. There's plenty of spots in the glutes. So like we just did in the low back, be willing to explore the tissue there. Move the ball around in a couple different spots, in other words. Explore your right glute. At least one inhale and exhale in each spot. Now you might notice that as you get closer to your actual hip bone, it gets a little more tender. That's going to be the next spot we explore, because I believe most of us have a lot of tension there as well. So pick one more spot in the glute and take one more deep breath in and out. Oh, that's a good one. And then go ahead, knees up, chin up, gaze up. Lift your hips up, and then I want you to take the ball and place it just behind the right hip bone, the hip bone known as the greater trochanter, the head of the femur, and do the same thing. It's right up against that hip bone, and you're leaning in towards the ball. So your legs moving right, your head moves right. Make sure you can take a steady breath. Now on this one, I encourage you to take the ball and just kind of bring it up to the uppermost part of that head of femur, and kind of wrap the ball around the back side of that bone, okay? So I'm gonna bring it up to the topmost corner of and backside of head of femur or hip bone. Couple breaths there, maybe a little bit of cross friction or movement. And then I'm gonna slowly bring the ball down, dropping it down, leaning in towards the ball, steady breath. One more inhale, exhale there. And then I'm gonna drop it down one more notch. I'm still on the back side of that hip bone, and it sure is tight. Take one more inhale and exhale, body weight down. And then lift back up. Now we'll switch to the left side. Lift your hips, take the ball to the center of your left glute or butt cheek, okay? Drop your body weight down. Breathe, and then let your left leg open. Explore the left glute, take the ball in 3 to 5 different spots here. For at least one inhale and exhale on each spot. Find one more spot here for one more inhale and exhale. And then we're placing the ball just behind that left hip bone again. So get the ball just behind the left hip bone and drop your body weight down and lean left. Let your head drop left. Keep it manageable, not painful. And then begin to scoot the ball down, keeping the ball on the back side of that hip bone. One more inhale, drop that ball down towards the bottom edge of the hip bone. Breathe in, breathe out. And then lift your knees up, chin up, gaze up. Take that ball, set it off to the side. Begin to hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze. Knees can be together or wide. And then I want you to gently rock to the left and to the right. Massaging the low back, kind of flushing out what we just rolled. And then rest your feet back down on your mat. Your feet now as wide as the mat. Bring your knees together. Bring your arms into a cactus position or overhead. And slowly, using your breath, move your legs in a windshield wiper fashion to the left and to the right. Maybe moving your head left and right. Another way to flush out. This should feel good. Left, right. Slow, steady. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time to each side. And then bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Be mindful here. I want you to rock and roll up and down your spine 3 times. And I want you to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat the 3rd time. We're going to get into the hamstrings with just 1 point here. Now on this one, the ball is directly in front of your right sit bone. Your position is with your legs long. I want you to be sure to keep your feet flexed. So pull your toes back towards your nose and then lean left to get the ball under you. Again, the ball is placed just in front of that sit bone. Your feet remain flexed. Your spine stays long. I don't want you rounding forward, but maintain a long spine, feet flexed. Take your hands and walk your hands just slowly alongside your legs. Move your shoulders back, move your chest forward, toes pulling back towards your nose. The ball in place. Meet that point of resistance, breathe, and then begin to shuffle your feet. Breathing. I'm just alternating the legs and the heels moving slightly forward and back. So this is applying a little bit of myofascial release for the head of the hamstring here, central hamstring. So just another full inhale and exhale there. And then lift up. Now switch to the left side. I'll flip around if that helps. I don't know. So lean right, get the ball once again just in front of your left sit bone. Get yourself in position, legs long, feet flexed, spine long, and then hinge from your waist, your hips. Maintain that long spine. Walk your hands alongside your legs. Find that point of resistance and then begin to shuffle and alternate your heels moving forward and back. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe, you guys. Okay. One more deep breath in. One more full exhale. Okay. Lift yourself then back up. Lean to the right. Get the ball out from under you. We are done with that tennis ball. But now I want you to reach back for your foam roller. So we're going to just slowly begin to work out the legs. The next spot is the lower legs. I want you below your knee and just feel how tight this is here, okay? This is what we're aiming for. This is a really easy and effective way to roll the lower legs. Okay, so just place both of your legs on your foam roller. All right, and then just get your upper body in a comfortable position. I like to lean back on my forearms, okay? And all you need to do here is move your legs in and out, rotating internally and externally. Toes move in, toes move out. Feet, big toes in, and then away from one another. I don't know how you can miss this one. And you're going to be surprised, some of you, at how tight you are here. Okay? So you're going to slowly begin to creep down away from your knees towards your ankles. Just doing that a couple times. In and out. Breathing in, breathing out as well. Keep moving down. Another notch. In and out with your feet. Breathing. Okay, just do, you should be hitting about 3 to 5 spots between the knees and the ankles. Couple breaths in each spot, 3 to 5. Okay, and then we're done with that. Now the fun part. This is all fun, but this is my least favorite. The quads. So, I want both of your front anterior legs below your hips, above your knees, on the foam roller. Here we go. So I want you to start high. Okay? Start high, closer to your hips, in other words. Now it's important that you don't let your back go lax. Engage your core. And then I like, again, to be on my forearms. You're kind of army crawling. And I want you to creep up and down your quads. Slowly moving with your breath. Core engaged. Don't let your back go lax. Breathe. You're covering the anterior upper legs here along your quads. Below your hips, above your knees. Now we're going to get a little more specific to each leg, each quad. I want you to begin, and we're going to start, because I'm in this position facing the camera. I want you to start with your left quad here and bend your right knee and rest that inner right leg on the foam roller and begin to roll the outer left quad, and you're pretty close to that IT band. Up and down comfortably as you can. One more inhale, one more exhale, and then switch sides. So extend your right leg long. Bend your left leg now. Rest that inner left leg on the foam roller. So now you're more specific to your right quad, outer quad, touching on that IT band. Try to cover the whole thing, below the hip, above the knee. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then I want you to just come off the foam roller altogether. Set it off to the side. Take your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch. Lengthen your arms out long and sit back in child's pose. Rest your forehead down and take 3 deep breaths. One more full inhale and exhale. And then we're gonna do one more spot. So bring your knees together. Take your foam roller again. And I want you to come onto your left side. And your foam roller is right up against your body here. Your left leg is long, and the target area now is this little kind of triangular area on the inner right knee. Vastus medialis. Okay, so bending the right knee, rest that area, that kind of triangular area above the inside medial part of your right knee and leg. Rest that onto the foam roller. And then you can kind of come up along those adductors, just slowly kind of creeping up towards your groin. Groin to inner right knee. Just start doing that. Breathing, of course. But then I want you to get more specific to just above that right knee. Now, your body, I want you to press down, but then begin to lift your right heel. Okay? Now, as the closer you get to your knee, generally the more you're going to feel it here. So lifting and lowering that right heel. And you can do that all the way up your leg. There's another way you can do this, and I'll show you that in a moment. Keep doing this if this is working for you. Okay? Lifting, lowering with the foam roller, and then a more specific way to do this, I'll show you, is actually with a tennis ball and a block or something that resembles a block. It just gets a little more specific when you use a tennis ball. You can do it this way. Same thing, except you're using that tennis ball to specifically target the vastus medialis trigger point. So inside upper knee, there's a little bit of downward pressure going on here while lifting that heel up. Okay. You can do that little circular action, but remember not to stay in one spot for too long. Maintain a steady breath and know that less is more. One more inhale, exhale, whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, and then we'll switch over to the other side. So I'll demonstrate by flipping around. Lie next to your foam roller if that's what's working for you. Otherwise, use that block and tennis ball approach. Okay, your right leg now is long and your left leg is on the foam roller. Get your head in a comfortable position. I like to rest my head in my hand. Okay. And then just begin to roll along the adductors, the inner left thigh. And on all of those, you can begin to explore lifting Downward pressure on the foam roller or the tennis ball on top of your block. Lifting and lowering that left heel. Generally speaking, the closer you get to your knee, the more tender it gets. For some of us, not all of us. But be willing to explore. Maintain a steady breath. You're going to notice differences from left to right. That's just part of being human. We have differences from left to right. All of us, I think it's safe to say that. But what I find is that rolling is really empowering and allows us to get to know our own holding patterns. So, yeah. Okay. Just a couple more breaths. And that will complete our rolling for today. So go ahead and just come onto your mat again. Hug your knees back into your chest. Close your eyes, rock to the left, to the right, and then begin to slowly circle your low back. A couple times in each direction. And then bring your knees together. Cross the right leg over the left as if you were sitting cross-legged in a chair. And then bring your legs a little closer in. Take your hands where you can comfortably reach. It could be your knees, your shins, your ankles, or your feet. Make sure your shoulder blades and shoulders are resting down on your mat. And grabbing where you comfortably can with your hands, begin to draw the legs a little closer to your chest. Breathe into that right outer hip here. Maybe wiggle your toes, but relax your face and your jaw, your forehead. For one more inhale and exhale, unwind those legs, switch them up now. The left leg is over the right. Take your hands and reach where you comfortably can. Rest your shoulders down on your mat. Relax your face, your jaw, your forehead. And then begin to mindfully draw the legs a little closer to your chest. Maybe wiggle your toes. Take another full inhale and exhale, unwinding the legs. Draw the right leg in, extend your left leg long. Make sure that left leg is resting all the way down on your mat. Take that knee into your chest and then slowly circle it 2 times in each direction. Mindful circles with the right knee. And then release the right leg down. Hug the left knee into your chest. Same thing, just pause here, notice. And then when you're ready, just slowly circle that left knee 2 times in each direction. And then release that left leg long. Now I encourage you to just rest in a Shavasana position, the final resting pose, and just take 5 deep breaths here. Eyes are closed. Just allow yourself to be still. Maybe tune into your energy, your prana, your chi. What we just did is a great way to stimulate your energy. So you might just feel a little kind of overall body buzz right now, because what we've just done is encourage circulation. Take a moment to tune into that. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then with an inhale, lengthen your arms long over your head. Get long, and with your exhale, come over to your right side in a fetal position. And then gently press yourself back up. Come to a comfortable seat. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Stay well. And yes, enjoy your day, everyone. Namaste.
Bye.